Hey everybody, I'm Captain Tommy Scoville and you are on the lifeboat. Guess what? First of all, nobody is getting any kind of notifications from the big red button. The big red button sucks. Very funny. I was doing the show about that disgusting piece of crap that got offed in the federal system, and whether or not he may have done it to himself or whether or not somebody else may have been involved. And there was some talk afterwards in the chat about having to talk in code, and the fact that it's kind of a bummer, but on the platform you really do kind of have to talk in code, or they're going to bury your content, your channel, and everything can get just absolutely buried. Sucks, but it's the truth. And the incredible thing is, I did an episode. I did a show on Epstein, right? Literally had his picture for the thumbnail, and they let me monetize that. But when I say fentanyl, there's no figuring out the big red button. All right, so let me tell you why I'm here. I mean, at this exact moment on YouTube, I'm going live to tell everybody that I am officially going on vacation. And that will mean that coming up, starting on Monday the 4th, I will probably do the last video that I do, the last proper meeting that I will do on the 4th. The vacation will start on the 5th. And I'm going to be taking off actually several weeks. Pretty fired up about this. It is a bit of a working vacation, at least for parts of it, because I'm going to be going to Los Angeles to see the sentencing of Danny Masterson. I'm going to go on out there for that. You know why, don't you? I'll tell you. Because there are people I really want to meet. You know what I mean? And you don't get to meet these people very often. People do videos and you see them, and but you never get a chance to sit down with them, shake their hand. Looking forward to that. So I am going to be heading out there. That's going to be next week before I come back, right? So it's going to be somewhere within the 14 days, right? From the 4th on. So by September the 18th, give or take, these will be gone. You hear? These will be gone. Yeah, I am absolutely looking forward to meeting AA Ron. I will. I'm very much looking forward to that. That's going to be cool. And you know what? There's going to be a lot of other people out there. Not to mention the fact that Cedar lives 45 minutes. My daughter's a 45-minute ride from where she lives to where I'll be for the trial. So my kid lives in California. One of them. So I am going to work seeing Cedar into that as well. And I will probably shoot a video with my daughter. I never put her face on. I don't know if you've ever seen any of the videos I do with my kid. I will not put her face on, but she's fun to interview. She's sharp as hell, and she's got a good sense of humor. So I will probably interview her again or have her on again. I don't show her face because it's tough enough having me as a dad without me putting her picture out there for the world. And she's already put up with crap from the bad people that hang out in cyberspace. So 14 days off from the boat. Now, by way of full disclosure, so that everybody knows exactly what's going to be going on, I will absolutely be doing videos and putting them up. What I will not be doing is I see that other channel has took up attack on you. Be careful while in Cali. Dude is unhinged. Why, thank you, Rachel. I really appreciate that. That is a very kind thing to say. But I'll tell you something, to be really honest with you. After living the life that I have, I've become a fairly good judge of character over the years. I really have. I've become a very, very good judge of character. And there are people that you look at and you think, there's a pretty good chance this dude would, you know, would throw hands and would probably be pretty good at it. Right? You look at somebody and you think, I don't know that I'd want to fight this cat, you know? And then there are people you look at and you think, if this dude's ever been punched in the head, it happened in elementary school, right? Happened on a playground in elementary school, and he hasn't really been in anything since. And I'm not particularly worried about anybody that I'm going to run into out there. To be really honest, I don't think they're going to have the huevos, the onions, to come on down and see me. But I would love to take him to lunch if he does. Love that. You know, I'm buying. So we'll see. Oh, that's a very cool thing to say. Talon 37. Oh, come on, nice thing to say. It's an honor. It really is. For a lot of reasons. Number one, it's a very cool group of people, and the people that I've met from Aaron's channel are they're very similar to the lifeboat crew, very similar to the people that we already had on the boat, and I think it's because there are so many parallels between that lifestyle and our lifestyle. And I won't beat a dead horse because we've talked about it a lot, but you know, there's not a lot of difference between getting addicted to something and getting addicted to a philosophy or getting addicted to a belief system. And people get addicted to things like that. They absolutely do. And that's why, you know, there are horrible things that happen. And the people that say, man, I'd never fall for anything like that. Nobody. You think there's people who go, no, I'd be the one. I would definitely be the one that would end up, you know, falling for that. I'm that guy. I don't think too many people think that. They know what they're doing, you know. And there's obviously a lot of good in the early courses and in the early programs that they do. There's got to be a benefit, or people wouldn't keep coming back. And you know, then by the time, you know, it really gets weird, you've got so much money put into it that, I mean, can you imagine if if we worked on the lifeboat even, except let's say we were on the lifeboat and about every, say 60 to 90 days, I said to you, oh, you've done really fantastic. Jilbo, you're killing it. Here's what we're going to do. I would like you to go to the next level. And it's only going to be about $450. And, you know, you can put it on a credit card, right? Let's get this rolling. And it's, if that were the way that, that we did things. And then when we get to where you've spent $60,000 or $70,000, right, or more with me, I say to them, by the way, Jilbo, I'm an alien. Okay? Let me tell you how this is really going down. You'd be like, what the hell? I put all of this money into this. And I think that's what happens a lot with that. You know, there are people that really are all in. Tuesday struggle is real every day for all walks of life. Yeah, Rachel, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. We're all of us are trying to figure out a way to get through this life. That's right. That's what we're all trying to do. Whether or not, you know, you go and end up in, you know, something like a cult, or whether or not you end up addicted to something. It's all us trying to make sense of the world that we live in, right? All of those things are just attempts at that. Oh, no, I didn't say anything about taking the Systroming out of Arizona. Ray. No, I didn't say anything even remotely like that. What I said is, before I come back from my vacation, this Systroming will be gone. Well, okay. I have heard that other people espouse that as well, Emont. I have heard other people that say that. I lived in Utah for a pretty long time. There are some spinoffs of that church that bring, you know, a very, very bad name to that church. But regardless, the Scientology one is just, you know, their goal is to try to keep you. Let's see what we got here. All right. mind games. Can we see if somebody just knocked mind games off of the platform? Could you do me a favor and unblock him? I didn't see what happened, but if something did happen, it's a misunderstanding, right? That's Charles. Charles is a non-issue. So if somebody did that, could you please undo it? And if not, Charles, you're hearing me anyway, because I know you're still there. Don't worry about it. If somebody can't undo it, I will undo it as soon as this live stream is over. All right. I don't know exactly how that happened, but I assure you I will unhappen it. Right? I will make sure that is remedied. Unfortunately, you're probably going to be quiet for the next little bit because I very much doubt that I could do that on the fly. Not very good at this computer stuff at all. Sadly, I really am not. Someday, maybe I could get better at it, but at this exact moment, I am not. And I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, since I was not the one that gave him the axe, I am not the one that can bring him back out of it. So, mind games, Charles, just hang out, brother. I'll get you after the fact. All right. Was in prison at 17. Took over 15 years to get even kind of straight. Wow. In prison at 17. That's tough. That really is. That's tough. I turned 21 in prison. Doing life without parole. Any other special locations you plan on going to while in LA? It's funny you should say that. I do have some things planned out. There's going to be some locations. I am going to be taking a friend on this road trip with me. By the way, Ray's going to eat foul fish. We could just leave it at that. And trust me when I tell you that it's going to happen. And that's all I got to say about that. There are a lot of people who share that opinion, Jilbo. There really are. I know that is a fairly it is a widespread opinion, to be sure. And I'm not in any way, shape, or form trying to talk anybody out of that opinion. I'm not. I'm just I try very carefully to not step on anybody's belief systems. I really do, because I think that's important to me in a big way, But I break the rules for that with Scientology, because they're not a church. They've never been a church. There's no belief. It's just a hustle, right? It's a straight hustle. And anything that says immediately when you join, if your family doesn't join this, they got to go. You can't talk to them anymore. That's the kind of evil that I can't wrap my brain around, right? Any organization, for any reason, whether they have anything to do with, with work or God or anything else, if there are people that say you can't hang out with your family anymore, it's probably a good idea to run like hell. Or if they say you can't have any friends that aren't, part of this air quotes church, that kind of crap gets really scary for me. But so I'm going to do this trip. As I was saying, I'm going to have a friend with me, right? I'm going to hit the Grand Canyon. My friend that's coming, Northeast cat, right? More of a city guy, but has never seen the Grand Canyon. Stephen Hassan. I will check that out, Jobo. And if you want to send me a link to it, that would be even better, because I'm not very bright. But if you want to send me a link to it to sober@myyahoo.com, that would be great. Or any of the other emails. If you put Tommy Scoville in the email, you're probably going to get me, right? There's a lot of them out there. LA warm on Sunday afternoon. It's an absolute hustle, Tommy, says BB's. It really is. And it's amazing how fast you can stack up cash when they don't tax it. That really gives you a pretty vicious idea of of what would happen if Uncle Sam would just leave us the hell alone for a little while, right? You can amass a big pile of cash really, really quickly if you're not giving up 30 to 40% of it to Uncle Sam. Carousel Delirium says, I have never seen the Grand Canyon either. It is a very, very large pit in the ground. I'm surprised you didn't know that. But wide, very wide across. A lot of movies have been filmed in and about the Grand Canyon. Pretty fond of Thelma and Louise, right? Don't they take a vintage Mustang and drive it off of the... yeah, I think that's the end of the movie, if I'm not mistaken. Ray says the Grand Canyon is going to be stupid hot this time of year. Out of curiosity, is there something in this state that isn't stupid hot this time of year? That's what I thought. Well, you would enjoy West. West is fun. California is going to be cool. I'm going to go and see, as I said, I'm going to go and see my daughter. And then I don't know. I'm going to talk to my friend. He's an East Coast dude. So if he wants to see more stuff on the West Coast, then I'll take him to the West Coast. But I have not seen this dude since getting out. How's that? Not been together with this dude since I got out of prison. So is it a T-Bird, Jason? Honestly, I'm not even sure if I ever saw the film. I know I've seen the clip of film at the end of it. And I know that Brad Pitt was in it, right? He had a part in that as well. But so it was a T-Bird, huh? Probably a 56 or a 57. Those are the years that usually end up in films. It was a drop top. Like, I'm pretty sure I've seen at least. Is it green? Anybody? I have a feeling. You know who would be the person to answer this? Jason Nordwell. Was it a convertible? And do you remember the color of it? Fun until, takes the T-Bird away. Okay, so yeah, after if he wants to see a little more of California, maybe I'll do. I wouldn't be adverse to doing a little swing up the coast, showing him San Francisco. Yep, T-Bird dark green. Okay, checks out. I like T-Birds. I've always been a fan. Oh, really? That sounds cool, Ray. I think I'm probably just going to be standing on the rim of the Grand Canyon, kind of looking across and doing the thing that Chevy Chase did from. Okay. Remember when they're trying to get out of Dodge really quick? Oh, it's such a funny scene. They see the Grand Canyon. He gives it like 3 bounces of his shoulders, and they go running off. I think Carousel Delirium. I think you would enjoy the West Coast. It is a very different attitude. You know what I mean? I grew up on the Eastern Seaboard, so it was bizarre to move out west because it really is a different mindset and a different attitude. But I like it, and it's a nice change of of scenery, kind of a thing too, because it's really different. Charlie, good to see you. Am I going to fly the Queen family truckster? Look, I'm not going to rule it out, right? You think you hate it now, but wait until you drive it. The Queen family truckster. I know you thought you wanted the sports model. Oh, Arctic Blue. He ordered the sports model, Arctic Blue, with the CB radio. Instead, he gets the Queen family truckster. See, I'm trying to leave just enough dead air because I'm trying to show Ron that, dead air it's not going to cost you, man. You can actually pause momentarily and people don't freak out, but content creators, dead air is not cool. You don't want to sit and film and be like, I'll be right back. I'm just going to, I'm going to hit the head real quick, restroom. But I'll be back with you guys in about 6 minutes. I have actually walked away from the camera on more than one occasion. But as I said, I'm no pro at this. You know what? I would love Scotland. I believe that. I think I would dig that. It was a 66 convertible. Thank you. I appreciate that. My experience has been that most of the time when you see a T-Bird appear in a movie, people will refer to it as a 57. More often than not, it's a 56. There's not a ton of difference, but there are some subtle differences. That's right. That's right. Dead air is when you get 5 million subs. Scotland, Ireland, dream destination, says Rachel. I will have you know that I own land in Scotland. I really do. I bought a plot of land that was about this big. True story. I did this so that we could call Fiona Crispin, Lady Fiona Crispin. That was the number one reason for purchasing that little plot of land. It was a thing that they had online. You can, now you have a title and this and that. And, I've had a lot of titles my entire life. They've all kind of made me uncomfortable, so I'm skipping the title thing. But it was fun to be able to do that for Lady Crispin. She has a very, very heavy roots in Scotland. In fact, her family had a castle over there, absolutely gorgeous. The people that were on in the early days of the boat probably remember because she showed some pictures of it, but just amazing. I got to get my felony off or can't ever go. Maybe I will just buy a plot. Rachel, here's the deal on that. Is that an absolute fact? Are they a country that will not allow felons to come in? Is that the deal? Because there are countries that will not allow felons in, right? I get that. Australia is one, right? For sure. In this format, pauses are fine. Thank you, Joe Bo Baggins. I appreciate that. And I think you're right. In this format, I don't think it's hurting anybody. You can travel, though, as a felon. I mean, I have a passport, and I've had plenty of felonies, and I have a passport. And no, we love everyone, Tommy. Excellent. My thought was you can't get a passport with a felony. Oh, but you can. I've got one. In fact, I might even have one on this desk. No, that's probably. I got a passport. I got a passport while I was still on probation. How's that? No problem whatsoever getting a passport with a felony. Now, there are countries that may take issue with you wanting to come in. They say Scotland welcomes all, which is great because that would make a really fun field trip. Get a permission slip signed by your parents, and let's see if we can't organize a lifeboat trip to Scotland. How much fun would that be? What? They told me I was never allowed going to get mine next month. Oh, you've been lied to. You absolutely can get one. No problem. Absolutely no problem. Now, there are certain countries that when you go to them, you have to get a visa, right? Not the credit card, the little stamp or sticker in the back of your passport that says you're allowed to go to this country. And you're allowed to stay for this long, right? It's a pass. It's a hall pass that lets you get into the country and stay for 30 days, 60 days, however long your visa is. And they have vacation visas and they have work visas if you're going to be staying somewhere longer. And there are countries that require those. There are some that don't. And when you go to get those visas, some of the countries are going to ask you, have you ever been convicted of a felony? Don't lie on that, because that can cause problems with you for the rest of your time going forward. Just be honest and say, yeah, I had a felony, and this is what the felony was, and this is how long ago it was. Some countries aren't going to let you in. Canada's not. To be sure, Canada's not. They're serious about it. And neither is Australia. Now, that being said, I worked for a company that was based in Canada, and they got me work visa after work visa after work visa, and I was already a felon, but we were paying a lot of taxes into that country's coffers, and we were creating jobs and doing all kinds of other stuff. So they just they gave me one work visa after another, and we went in and out of Canada constantly. Hard enough dealing with the BS here, says Lemmy. He says he doesn't really want to visit any other country. He's having enough trouble with this one right here. I think that's why you go to the other ones, Lemmy. It's to get away from this madness for a little while. I think that's the draw right there, isn't it? To be able to put this one behind you for just a little while. Really depends on the actual person you meet at the border. Dude might be having a bad day and won't let you in for a 15-year DUI. Next time, dude is happy and doesn't care. I think there's really something to be said for that. Sasquatch Hunter makes a really good point, because that decision is going to come across the desk of somebody, right? Somebody is going to make the decision whether or not you're going to get a visa, right? And yeah, they're having a great day and they go, it's 15 years ago, man. Who really cares? And they stamp you that thing. Very often you have to go to the consulate, right? Or the embassy of that country in whatever country you live in. And usually that is where you can get, take care of visas and things like that. I will only go to Canada for what? Poutine? I don't know if I know what that is. I feel like I should. Like, that's tickling a part of my brain. Full of Hope says, I have 2 passports. I'll tell you something. There was a time in my life where I had 2 passports. There was. And the fact that I had that other one caused a whole great big hubbub. It was a passport from Belarus. And we had a friend who had a sister who worked in the passport office in Belarus. And yeah. And we were able to procure some IDs from her, and it blew up, and because one person went and got caught with and did something wrong while carrying this, and it's a bulletproof. It's not fake; it's real. But boy, did that cause problems. It took a lot longer to realize that something was really wrong here, but it was a real license, but there was no way. I mean, a real passport, but there's no way the guy could have been from that country. French fries and gravy, cup of curds topped with brown gravy. It sounds good. I'd absolutely be willing to give that a try. You know what I used to find funny? We have a big crew. The second largest group we have on the lifeboat are Canadians. We are very well represented in Canada. Yeah. BB says it's unfortunate that you do something and you pay for it for the rest of your life. And that, that really is the truth. And then, you know what, not me. Like I screwed up. I know, I was I was basically a career criminal. So whatever happened to me, but I've watched people get screwed. I mean, Johnny's a great case. Johnny can't get out of here, and guy's got a DWI. It's like the only thing on his record is a DWI. Best fries and gravy is at Finn Bars in Burlington, Vermont. Al's is in the running too. There, Johnny Scoville. And I'll tell you something right now, that Johnny Scoville knows his stuff. I wouldn't say it if it wasn't true. Johnny Scoville knows his stuff. So, my brother, I was just telling the crew of the lifeboat that I'm taking a vacation. Mine was a pot charge. Welcome to the South, 15 years ago. Weed. Man, behind some weed? No. Boo this man. No, that's awful. It really is. But you can get a passport. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. That is absolute bupkis. You can go get a passport. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go to like Kinko's or one of those and get a picture taken there for your passport. You got to go to a passport approved picture place because the picture is actually going to have some stuff printed on it so that you get a proper government deal for the ID. Andrew, good to see you. And then what you do is you go in with your little pictures and you actually do it at the post office. It's a very, very painless process. You fill out a form. I want to say I paid $30. I think it was $30. Don't quote me. Maybe it was more than that. It was not a lot. I remember being shocked at how cheap it was. Yep. But yeah, no problem at all getting a passport. You know, like I said, I was still on probation. I mean, I told my probation officer because I did everything by the book when I was on paper, but I said to him, hey, I'm going to go get a passport. You got a problem with that? And he's like, not unless you try to leave the country. They take the pic at the post office. Oh, okay. In AK. Don't know about other places. No, that's rare. Sasquatch Hunter. I have gotten passports in a number of places in my life, but I've always had to show up with a picture. But that kind of makes sense, right? You know, in Alaska, it's you are America, but you are different America, right? You are definitely cut off from from the boring part of America. I love Alaska. I've been to Alaska. I am a huge, huge fan of Alaska. I used to go skiing there, and man, oh man, it's just absolutely beautiful. You know, I went with my old boss and two of his friends, and they were really, really wealthy guys, and we did the Chugach mountain range with some guides and a helicopter, and it was absolutely epic, and they paid for it, which was a lot of fun. Anyone with a parent or grandparent Irish, you can get an Irish passport. Really? Really? Maybe I could start claiming that I have a relative. She says, Ireland is pretty loosey-goosey. Well, I like that. I really do. But so if you're just getting here, I am taking a vacation. It's going to be about 14 days. It's going to be starting on Monday the 4th, right? That will be my last day of broadcasting. I also wanted to give everybody a update on Heather Joy, but I didn't want to do it until everybody was here. If you didn't hear what happened, Heather is a runner, right? She does an amazing amount of running, and she does the cross country kind of stuff, like the Spartan races. She trains for that and is really, really into it. But after the lifeboat, not yesterday, but the day before, she did the 5 o'clock show, and then she went out for a run and got attacked by a dog. And the dog apparently bit her on the glute, on the buttocks, and that brought her to the ground. And when it brought her to the ground, it banged her face on the ground pretty hard. I mean, pretty hard. And I spoke to her today, and she said both of her eyes are still darkened up. She's got kind of the raccoon look, and she said that she would like to be able to open them before going live because at this point they're kind of swollen shut. And I said, take That's really a terrible barometer. Like what kind of guy am I if that's the you have to come back to work once you can open your once you can open your eyes. If you can open them at all, I expect you to be here at 5 a.m. So yes, there you go. Carousel delirium. There you go. I was thinking the same thing. So that is for Heather Joy. Heather's a sweetheart and just a very dedicated person. From the very first day that she started doing anything with the lifeboat, she's just been all in. Just really, really been dedicated. And I just hope and pray that she heals quickly. Let's see, what do we got? Hello, you're on the lifeboat. The lifeboat? Well, that wasn't very nice. Apparently they didn't like me. Yes. Love and thoughts to Heather. I absolutely agree. It's you do a show like this where you go on all the time. When you do a show like this and you're going live every single day, you're going to end up filling some stuff that has you're gonna do some filming when you have a couple of bruises, or you're injured or whatever. It's just it's impossible for that not to happen. I think I've probably done 2 or 3 different sessions where I ended up with a bruise either on my face or somewhere where I was really messed up. Hello, Ghetto Joe. So this is Heather's turn. It's unfortunate, because everybody does see it, and she's a trooper too. Heather is a person that she's stoic as hell. Heather will go on in pain, which kind of bothers me, but again, it gets back to that dedication. All hits to the head are traumatic, just to a lesser degree. That is absolutely right. I did so much damage to my brain by blowing off concussions and not worrying about it, and I'm paying for it. I'm really seriously paying for it. My advice would be if you got kids or grandkids that that want to compete and do things like that, start doing it into a foam pit, start doing it into pools. Get a coach with a harness and a trampoline. And there are good ways to do it, and there are bad ways. I did not do the good way. Carousel Delirium was a nursing attendant on the brain injury and stroke unit. So hard. I did not know that. Very, that's tough. The inside of your skull is not smooth. Good point. And that whole coup counter coup thing, you know what I mean? Where it all just sort of slushes around inside. So your head hits this way, you over rotate a backflip and your head hits the ground and everything comes back the way it's supposed to. And all that liquid just sort of cushions it. And then it shoots forward and hits the front of the skull. And that's, so you hit the back of your head and the damage is to the front of the brain. And that was how all of mine were. All of them. Shots to the back of the head. But you know what? It is what it is. You look back and you say, if I could do it all over again, I don't know that I would change all that much. Is what it is. I'm pretty happy with where I ended up. Kind of a bummer. Some of the process to get here has been absolutely awful. But those experiences are what has brought me here. And I can't complain with where I'm at right now. I'm very happy with where I'm at today, right? So I'm not complaining about that. If I went back there are a couple of stocks I might buy, right? And there's a couple of people that like the day that I met them, I would have, if I could do it all over, there are people that I would have just not had in my life, to be sure. But the vast majority of the things that I did, people I was with, all that, the vast majority of it, I would do over. I've really, I learned quite a bit from that life. And again, I'm pretty happy with where I ended up. And I love the lifeboat. I love this gig. I really do. It's going to be hard to be away from everybody for 14 days, but all parties involved, right? All of the people that care about me, and there's a couple of them. All parties involved have been leaning on me to take a vacation for a really, really long period of time, right? So I'm taking a vacation, and it's going to be a legit 2-week one. Now, I am going to be filming. I promise. I'm going to be filming. I'm just not going to be doing a 1 hour in the morning and a 1 hour at night. Like, I won't be doing 1 hour shows. If I pop on, it's going to be because I'm in a really cool place, and I'm going to let you check this out. I'm certainly going to broadcast from the courthouse in Los Angeles during the Danny Masterson thing. That's a lock. I'm going to be broadcasting from there. So there's going to be videos. It's just that I'm not going to be in the rotation doing 5 a.m. and 5 p.m. shows. If Heather needs me to pinch hit one, I could probably do it because I can jump on there and it's fairly easy, but it's just, I'm not going to be, I certainly will not be here full time. And this is where it gets crazy. Where it gets crazy is this. I'm not going to be doing a whole lot with, I'm not going to be answering a lot of emails. I'm not going to be answering a lot of texts. I'm not going to be taking a lot of phone calls. This is going to be 2 weeks to completely decompress from the solid year that we've had, because we haven't taken a break in 12 months since the last time I took a break. And this time I'm going to schedule that bad boy instead of just allowing it to drag me to the ground, because I did that last time. And you live and you learn, eh? Live and learn. Are you with me? You feel me? All right. So that's the deal. Hey, Kenneth. Thank you. I appreciate that, Kenneth. I really do. I'll be popping in, and you all will be treating Heather joy. Lovely. You see that? You see that? There's where the trouble starts, right? That's where the trouble starts. It's all fun and games, right? It always starts out this way. It always starts out this way. I'm just going to take me a nice little relaxed 14 days off, right? Where I'm not doing anything crazy and I'm not stressing out. And then old Johnny Scoville pops up and says, you know what? I could use a vacation. Maybe I'll just fill my backpack with really hot peppers and fish that smells bad, and I'll go see my younger brother and terrorize him for several weeks. Sound about right? Yeah. Yep. And it's and I think it's funny. I think it's funny that I was looking at the analytics. The number of you that went back and watched the Sistroming video, we really got a ton of views on that in the last couple of days, which means that all of you people are actually looking forward to me getting sick. I'm 2,705 miles from LA. You got a half a pack of cigarettes and a full tank of gas? It's dark out and you're wearing sunglasses? Hit it. Haven't taken a day off in 4 or 5 years. Look, dude, no one's impressed with your 4,000 consecutive videos, all right? Let it go. Blah, blah, blah. Make a lot of stuff, Guy eats peppers every single day for, 5 years, hurting himself, and he expects some kind of recognition for it. Yep, there you go. See, look at that. We got a couple of hits there. See that? Yeah. People that understand the game. All righty. I will be doing the 5 o'clock tonight. And I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to make it offensive. I can't back that up. I probably won't really make it offensive, but Morrison thumbed from Florida to LA. Yeah. Yeah, I remember hearing that. You know what though? We used to do that, didn't we? Like we're the last generation that hitchhikes. Think about that, right? We used to hitchhike. We used to go out and stand on the side of the road, put our thumb up, and wait for the first car to go by to pick us up and drive us somewhere. And I used to do it long distances. When my brother lived on the other side of the state, I would call him and say, "What are you doing?" "Nothing. I'm gonna hitch up." I would go get by the freeway and I did it once on Christmas Day. I went out there and hitchhiked on Christmas Day. But I mean, how much has society changed for real? You know, we used to get into fist fights and hitchhike and now people can't eat wheat. Right? Now we got a whole society of people that can't eat meat. I mean, wheat rather. We got people that are lactose intolerant and have celiac disease. I'm just kidding. If you're lactose intolerant and you have celiac disease, I'm just busting chops, right? Don't pick it in front of my house or anything. I would pick you up on Christmas. All right. Sasquatch says I've hitched a lot. Yeah, I mean it was really part of. Okay, here we go, and it starts. No one was allergic to gluten. No one was allergic to peanuts. Did you know anybody that had a peanut allergy when you were a kid? Honestly, do you remember anybody in your grade that was allergic to peanuts? Like it sounded like they were making it up the first time I heard it. And then like 15 minutes later, every other kid I met was allergic to peanuts. I drive a Jeep. See, now no one was allergic to gluten. It's so funny. Smash that like button, people. Oh, it's Carousel Delirium that said that. You don't want to mess with her. Strawberry was the only allergy I remember. I've always been allergic to mushrooms, not the fun kind, but regular fungus absolutely just makes me sick as hell. And you want to talk awful? My dream date, the girl that I wanted, like the first absolute I'm in love crush that I ever had in my life, right? This girl was my everything. For honestly years, this girl was the only thing that I could think about. And I went over to her house and her parents were serving stuffed mushrooms, right? And I don't know I'm allergic to them. I've had breakouts and stuff, but I've never put two and two together for what I'm allergic to. But they're going to serve these as an appetizer. JM, been watching about a month, first time commenting. Well, we're glad that you did, and we're glad that you found the boat. That's awesome. That's pretty funny right there. That is really funny. So I eat, I start chowing down on these stuffed mushrooms, right? And I don't like them. Like I didn't like them. They were terrible, but I wanted this girl's mother to like me. I'm at her house. So I'm just chewing these things and trying to gaff them down. And if I got to eat something and it's disgusting, I'm going to try to get it done as fast as I can. So I'm the first dude finished. And her mom, I won't say her name. I thought about it, but I'm not going to. Her mom got me another one. Lickety split. Here you go. So I started on the second one. And right about the time I was about halfway through the second one, the airway started to constrict. And I got to like I could not breathe for anything. I could not breathe. It was getting really, really bad. And they saved me because they happened to have an EpiPen, right? They had an EpiPen handy, so they were able to save me. If that had taken place 6 months down the road, they wouldn't have saved me. They would have let me die. I promise you. The old Scoville sensor patent pending. Ah, yeah, that's right. EpiPen. Yeah, I had to put an EpiPen. I know I've told this story on the air before. Years later, I'm a grown man. I have a son, and I was out back by the pool having a great day. Right, we were actually having a little like pool party and had a margarita machine, and it was just a very nice day. And I got stung by a bee when I was trying to move an ice chest, and I was just downstairs from where I lived. I lived on an upper floor, so I ran in and ran up all of the stairs and got into my place. And I had never used one of these. It was the one that really looks like a pen. The ones I use are usually square, right? Well, this one actually looked like a pen. And I took that thing out the wrong way. And I went and jammed it onto my leg, and the needle came out and went into my thumb. And it went in until it hit the bone and bent, because I had to, it hurts. It hurts so bad. And you know that expression, it sticks out like a sore thumb? Stick a needle in your thumb down to the bone, and I promise you that you're going to understand the whole sticks out like a sore thumb thing. They were hash muffins. Oh no, Angie, that's awful. If Johnny Scoville is still here, he could tell you a story. Oh yeah. He was going to have an anniversary party, and I hitchhiked up to see him for his anniversary party. And I went over to his apartment, and I got the landlord to let me in. I don't know if he thought I was my brother, because that happened a lot, especially back then. But he had no problem letting me in, and I went in and started rooting around my brother's place. He was married at the time, and I'm looking around at all of his stuff, and he had a little bit of weed, so I smoked some of it. Got a case of the munchies, and I called him and told him I was there, and he said, "Make yourself at home. Do whatever you want." So I made myself at home, and I went into the refrigerator, and they had brownies, and I ate one and poured myself a glass of milk, and I was like, "Man, that was good." So there were probably maybe 12 of these brownies on a plate, and I probably had half of them. And so I remember calling him and saying, "Hey man, those brownies are incredible." And the panic on the other line, you know what I mean? He went, "Oh my God, you ate those?" And I'm like, "That's not good. Why would you say that?" Right? Why? And oh my God. And he said, those have like an ounce of hash in them. Those were for tonight's party. And he's like, "How many did you have?" And I was like, 6. And he said, "Oh, dude, you're going to have a terrible night. Like, you were not going to have fun." And I didn't. It was an awful night. I got picked on, like, just viciously all night long by my brother. I would be at the table, and I mean, I'm drugged. I'm way too drugged. And I would just start sort of nodding off, and the jaw would drop. And my brother, because he's just so damn funny, would reach over and just gently, like, push my jaw up. And of course, everybody would laugh hysterically. And it was sort of one thing after another where he could just pick on me. We ordered food, and when the food got there, I was relieved. You know what I mean? I was like, well, my food's here. Now I could just dive into this, and nobody's going to pick on me. You know what I mean? Like, for a solid hour, I got nothing to worry about. I could just eat this food. So I start eating it, right? And I'm just sort of very focused. I'm myopic, right? I'm on this food. This crap's important at this point, right? I'm serious about it. And while I'm on it, my brother, does the, "Hey, Tommy. And I'm just, "Tommy." I looked up, I'm like, "What?" And he's like, "Slow down, man. You'll be all right." And there's 10 people at the table, and every one of these things was a punchline. And let's just say I was the straight man for the entire evening. On the bright side, by the time I was done sleeping it off, I was no longer sore about it. In my brother's defense, I had to be no fun at all to babysit that night. No, he did not stick a finger in my mouth, which is good. which is good. But no, I honestly fell asleep about 3 or 4 times that day standing up. It was something else, man. I did not have any fun. I did not have any fun. Now, when I am done with this, I have to go and unblock who? Mind Games, wasn't it? All right, Mind Games, I'm coming for you, brother. People, I'll see you back here at the top of the 5, right? Be about 3 hours from now. Right? About 3 hours from now. I will be right here. Same squirrel time, same squirrel channel. She might just be in the basket. This is the right time of day. Yeah, exactly. Messed around and got your high. Yeah, that's exactly right. That's really funny. That really is funny. You and Johnny have some amazing brother stories. I wish me and my brother had a good, funny stories with each other. We got really lucky that we just, we were really kind of similar people. You know what I mean? Like it was more than just the kind of brother thing. I think we probably would have hung out if we weren't related. We just really kind of cut from the same cloth. So, and it's cool, having somebody that what that person's thinking like that. We just have that, kind of a strange relationship where I don't have to like if he and I are doing a show, it's very easy to riff off one another because I know what's going to come out of his mouth when before he starts a story. I'll know what the story's going to be based on something that someone said. I'll be like, oh, you know what? I know what he's thinking. It's crazy, but it's true. So it's fun. The two of us have a lot of fun, and on and off, we've worked together for our entire life. There was a period of time where he was running some large telemarketing rooms, and I was robbing banks. But other than that time, that little decade or whatever, we've always worked together in one way or another. Legally mischievous. Yeah, I like that. All right. Are you all going to be here at 5? Seriously. I'm looking at your names. You all better be here at 5. I will find you. All right. See you in 3 hours, people. 2 hours? What do we got here? 3 hours. I will see you in 3 hours. Thank you so much for sharing a part of your day with me. Really does mean a lot to me. See you in the 5 o'clock show. All right. God bless. All right.